Hello Avians, and welcome back to the main channel. Today we're talking about the brief story of K.9, as in the Australian Doctor Who spin-off. The reason why it's a brief story is so that I can extend it, narrate it, and give a wonderful documentary about the story in the future. Not anytime soon, in the very far future, once I've worked out elements of it. But I want to give a brief story because I was doing, I was creating, I have a thing on my computer which is a complete collection of theme tunes, and when I do Doctor Who, you have to have all the spin-offs that exist, that has a separate theme tune which includes K.9, the Australian series, and so it got me thinking, I shouldn't do a documentary, and then I thought, well, I could talk about it briefly beforehand, and here I am talking about it. So let's get into the story. So, in Classic Who, the first person, when you think about owning the rights to their own characters, you think of Terry Nation. And at that time, I think, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of people had their own. The BBC had the rights to the Doctor and the TARDIS and the companions, but I don't think the villains and extra characters like K9 the BBC didn't own. So Bob Barker, who's similarly novel with us, owned the rights to K9, and he wanted to make some more spin-off, more material with K9, and things since the K9 series had been and gone that were never going to happen, and I don't think we'll see any more K9 material access to the TV series, because John Lesson, John Lesson, I keep getting mixed up with John Sessions, but John Lesson is still with us, who was the voice of K9 in both Doctor Who, the Sarah Jane Adventures, and K9, the Australian series. So apparently K9, the Australian series, is canon to Doctor Who because the version of K9 in the series is Mark 1. So Bob Baker wanted to create a programme for it, but the BBC didn't want anything to do with it due to the fact that they already had Sarah Jane Adventures and Torchwood, and they thought adding this onto their roster would be too much. So in the UK, Channel 5 and Disney XD were both the right holders to air the series. Disney XD got in them for Channel 5, and in Australia it was Network 10, which is a quite popular network for a lot of TV programmes. The ABC is their version of the BBC, so Network 10, like their ITV, if you will. And so K9 existed, but because they weren't allowed to use the rights to the Doctor, some of the companion, and the story of what happened to K9, they had to say that, well, he's just come back from Gallifrey. They couldn't say the word Gallifrey, but it's where K9 was last seen with Leela. So it's about him, and they had to remove his memory so that he was damaged. He forgot a lot of things, so they built him a new body. A lot of fans, when you look into more detail in the fan side of things rather than the official side, the fans didn't really like this version of K9. I'm gonna say costume wise, but it's more of the building quality. And I'll be honest, and I've got it. Let me just see if this didn't focus. Probably won't be, 'cause I am in the primary. This is a better looking design, the K9, than the TV series was, because I do think it seemed a little bit like, oh yeah, we want to make him more dog-like rather than robotic. I just like how that K9 could fly, so that works, and that's in that element. What the redeeming qualities is Bob Baker, the origin owner of K9, worked on the show. John Lesson was the voice of K9, so there are two redeeming factors. The DVDs, on the other hand, are really, really abysmal, because I only have Volume 1 and Volume 2 of Series 1, and to get a complete collection here in the UK is impossible. You have to get them in separate volumes. I don't mind the whole volume system, but I do think that if we were going to do K9, we need to get a complete collection. The BBC will never ever do a collection box set with K9 on it. But I do think that as Bob Baker's estate could give someone the rights to that show to create a box set, because it'd be interesting if Chris Chapman or anyone else that does Doctor Who documentaries across all media could try and attempt to make a true history of this show and talk about how it exists, why it exists, and all these other intricate details that I'm not mentioning here. So the show itself had a really tricky lifespan, and at one point they wanted to rename it to the K9 Adventures, but K9 seemed like a perfect actor. I'm looking at the logo on the DVD up there, so you can't really see it. I'm looking at the frame note, you can almost see it, but it is K.9, and I think the logo for the show is actually quite good. I really like the logo for the show. I do think it was good. Timequake, which was going to be a feature-length film for K9, isn't going to happen. I can guarantee. Even though the last time we heard anything was 2022, I think. I know that Bob Baker wanted it to go on, live on, past his passing, but I do think that it's past its peak of popularity. If K9 returned back to Doctor Who, like it did with School Reunion, it brought back some love for the character, and like Sarah Jane Adventures wouldn't have happened if Sarah Jane hadn't returned to Doctor Who in an episode to reintroduce the character to new fans. So K9 needs to come back. We need to reintroduce K9 to new fans. We need to we need K9 that's with Sarah Jane. So we need the Bannerman Road Gang to have that K9 so that Timequake could possibly happen in the future once we've reintroduced K9, because it's all well and good having a feature film, having all this about a character from a TV program, but if only fans like me and onwards, like fans that have seen both Classic Who, New Who, the spin-off, yeah, we'll go and watch it, but new fans that have just seen only Shooting Out was their first Doctor, they won't know all this, and their parents might not have been fans of Doctor Who. It's one of those things that you can't guarantee that it's going to pull in the younger audience, so reintroduce a character by all means, and then think about what we're doing with the spin-offs. But at the moment, I do think that this is a good jumping on point for anyone that wants to get into the world of K9, because it's a fantastic series. Some people hate it, some people don't like it, some people think it's got nothing to do with Doctor Who. You look at it and go, I can see why it's got nothing to do with Doctor Who, but I'm taking this as a sci-fi series on its own. It's like, you don't watch Primeval and think, oh yeah, it's whatever. You don't watch Farscape and think, oh yeah, it's whatever. You don't watch Orville and think, oh yeah, this is take the mickey out of that. You watch it and it's own separate thing, even if you don't like what it's taking the mickey out of. You watch it in its own thing, so this is something you can watch as its own thing. And so, there we have it. That is a brief story of K9, K.9 I'm going to call it. No, I'm not going to write the word dot, obviously I'm not weird. I'm going to write K.9 with an actual circle. See what I mean? So, there we have it. The logo is really nice. I do quite like the colour design. I think it's one of the redeeming factors. So hopefully if we ever get a spin-off that requires that, we need to get the K.9 we need the Australian K9 series logo design to design the logo for other spin-offs that isn't the one we're about to get, because that will have already been logo design and already been designed with the next ones. I think that's what we should do. Thank you guys for watching. Bye. Don't forget to subscribe to the official Tom Mason YouTube channel.